This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
We're back and ready for today's Plain Talk. Here's Kyle and Duane to discuss middle names.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk with the one and only Duane Alan Toews.
Yeah.
Duane Alan Toews.
Yes, I am.
D-A-T. Dat.
You know, it's interesting.
Dat be Toews over there.
Yeah, sometimes. Our middle daughter, her middle name eludes me at the moment, which is really kind of embarrassing.
We won't tell her.
It's Dawn.
Okay.
And for the longest time, she was nearly in high school before she figured out that we weren't being cruel. We spelled it D-A-W-N.
Sure.
Like any young lady would do, or most. She thought she was named after a man, and so she was kind of embarrassed by her middle name.
Don. She thought Donald.
Yeah. She thought it was a friend of ours that lives up in Washington.
Well, my middle name is Charles, and
There's not many women that confuse Charles with being a man or a woman's name.
Except that was awfully long, and when I was in my lower grades, let's say 6th grade, I wanted to write my middle name. No, it was lower than that. It was like 1st grade. I wanted to write my middle name. Well, Charles was long, and I knew Chuck was short for Charles.
Yeah. So you just
I
took
asked
it
the
upon
teacher.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So I asked the teacher, how do you
all
write
right?
Chuck?
Yeah.
And so
You're right, Chuck.
so she showed me how to write Chuck. And so for a while, I wrote my name Kyle Chuck Bauer. Yeah, I don't really remember when I was put straight on the deal, but somewhere along the line,
you got to do what you got to do to survive those early grades in school.
Exactly.
Like myself, for instance, chose to find a friend that could tie the little wooden shoe with the shoestrings.
Okay, whoa. Wooden shoe.
We had a little wooden shoe.
Oh, I thought you were from a Dutch community.
No,
you had
it
wooden
was.
shoes. Okay.
It had wooden pieces, and
That's
they were
how
all,
you learned to tie your shoe.
They were stitched together, and then there were strings on the front to tie the shoe.
And you got graded on this.
You had to do that in order to go on to 1st grade.
Okay.
I grew up on a farm. I either wore A, boots, or B, nothing.
Nothing. Right.
I didn't know how to tie a shoe when I was in
Didn't
kindergarten.
need to.
Fortunately for me, I always opted to volunteer to tie the shoe when the teacher was headed down to the cafeteria to get milk for snack.
And how did you get this other person to tie the shoe?
I really don't know.
Did you pay him?
I don't know. That's
you
the
didn't bully him, right?
I was little.
Yeah, I figured
couldn't have.
that's why they call you Shorty.
Yeah,
you're 6 foot tall, and they call you Shorty.
I was just a little sprout at that point. I couldn't have bullied
So you had to somehow talk him into it.
I talked somebody
probably
into
paid
tying
him big bucks.
Probably a nickel on the playground.
He was probably earning his living tying shoes.
I have no
idea.
idea.
I don't remember that. I mean, I don't remember. I think I learned to tie my shoe in school too, but we weren't as advanced as you were. We didn't have a wooden shoe.
Right.
I think you couldn't go to recess. Unless
your shoes were
well,
tied?
okay. I know in gym or whenever we went, that was it. Whenever we went to gym or to recess, when the weather was bad, we went and played in the gym.
Right.
We had special shoes for the gym.
Because you didn't want to scar up the floor.
Right, exactly right. And you couldn't go to recess unless you could tie your shoe. There was some motivation for you.
Yeah, in my case, I sure hope snack was right before recess.
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next week on Farm Factor. We're here every Tuesday on Ag AM in Kansas.